I want to ask, when you think of Cowboy success, you think of Troy Aikman and the 90s Cowboys. It was the last time we went to the promised land. And I say we because I am a diehard Cowboys fan. Shout out to my dad. He raised me that way. It's
She's from
legacy
New
over
York,
here.
Troy.
All right, way to go, Dad.
Thank you. Shout out to my dad. You can say hi, Jeff. He's watching right now. He instilled it in me. So I wonder, ever since then, the Cowboys are always on everyone's list to make it all the way, to go to the Super Bowl, but there hasn't been that same level of success. There's been seasons of mediocrity. There have been seasons of some playoff success. There's been seasons of it looks like they're going to go all the way. I wonder, one, what does this team need to do to get over the hump? And two, notoriously speaking, you think of the Jason Garrett era, a lot of fans grew weary with how many chances he was given to take this team all the way. With that in mind, how big is the window for Coach Mike McCarthy to bring this team to the promised land?
Yeah, well, I know Cowboys fans are frustrated that the team hasn't gotten to a Super Bowl and hasn't even played in an NFC Championship game since the last one that I played in the 1995 season. The Cowboys have been one of the more talented teams in the league for quite some time, and they've won a lot of regular season games. I don't know exactly where they rank, but if you took the teams and you said, okay, who's won the most regular season games in the last 10 years or however long you want to go back, the Cowboys would be in the top five, I would imagine. They've had some really good teams. It just hasn't, for whatever reason, it just has not translated into postseason success. They haven't won many playoff games really in the last 25 years. And it's a lot of times it's been one and done. So what do they have to do in order to get over the hump? The easy answer is that they've got to play their best football when the games matter most, and that's what they've not been able to do. And how do you do that? That's the $1 million question. It's just been unfortunate for them, and they've got another good team this year. I like what they did in the offseason. I love Brandon Cooks as a wide receiver. I've loved him since he came in the league. Stephon Gilmore on the defensive side of the ball.
Big pickup.
Yeah, another great pickup. So they're going to be able to compete with anybody in the league. And I think with that, high expectations come, of course. And Mike McCarthy this year taking over play calling is a big deal. I think Kellen Moore's done a really nice job.
Dinosaur, Troy. Dinosaur, Troy. Dinosaur. He was in Apple before the Cowboys picked him up. He was in Appleton, Wisconsin for a whole year trying to put together this new scheme.
He was in the barn.
They come out and he was in the barn. This is a true story. Troy, I just don't believe that he's going to come out and be innovative. So to me, it's going to come down to your playmakers. The biggest question is, can Dak Prescott overcome Coach McCarthy's shortcomings on a play calling side, on the innovative side? So my question to you is, all right, is Dak the guy? Can Dak overcome Coach McCarthy's shortcomings?
Well, I do think this. First of all, Brandon, I was surprised, quite honestly, when Mike got the job that he didn't take over play calling then. Because when he was in Green Bay, he did give up play calling for a period of time. And when he took play calling back, he said he would never give it up again because it's something he feels that he's good at and that he enjoyed. And so I was surprised by that, number one. Like I said, I do think Kellen Moore did a good job. So the offense is going to be different. You call Mike a dinosaur. He may very well be, but because he's not, now he's put himself out there. You always are out there as the head coach, but now if you're the guy calling the plays, they're going to have success on the offensive side of the ball. So to answer that part of the question, Jerry's becoming, he's never been an overly patient owner. He's becoming less patient. And what do they have to do in order is Mike in the hot seat right now? I mean, I don't know. If Bill Belichick is in the hot seat, I would say that just about every other coach is in the hot seat too.
You don't believe that, Troy?
It's a do or die season.
You don't believe Bill Belichick's in a hot seat?
I would hope not. I mean, I just keep hearing about it. I'm not the one who's saying it. I just keep hearing it. They're saying, I'm like, wow, you've been to 9 Super Bowls, 6, and somehow, I mean, I don't know how that works. I mean,
right.
I wouldn't want to go into the profession of coaching if you're at risk of losing your job and you've been to 9 Super Bowls.
For where you sit and where you've been within the organization, the success that you have seen, knowing Jerry, knowing what the team wants, knowing what the organization wants, and that's to bring another trophy back to Dallas, what would you say if you were in the position to make that decision? How many more seasons do you give this team to work until you say, okay, it's not working? What's that next chapter, that next era look like? Like, how many more seasons of mediocrity or not going all the way does this team have until they try to figure out what it looks like after?
Well, I think, they've been trying to figure it out for a while. I think that in order to really honestly be able to answer that question, I think you've got to be inside the organization and just know there's got to be a belief that the direction that you're heading is the right direction and the things are being done the right way to give yourself the best chance. I think at the end of the day, everyone understands that you do have to go out and perform and you have to play, and it's not easy. I was always asked, how come more teams don't repeat as Super Bowl champions? And I would answer that and say, well, because it's not easy to go win the Super Bowl the first time. It's hard. And then to do it all over again the next year, it's not easy to do. And a lot of things have to happen. You've got to be fortunate, of course, with injury and all that. I'm not evading your question. I'm just saying that.
No, I agree.
It's been 20 plus years since
you're really good at it. You've been on television for 20 plus years.
You know what?
But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if they don't make it this year, does that mean, okay, we're going to just, start all over again? I don't know. I don't know what Jerry might be thinking. I'm going to Cowboys camp on Wednesday. I'll ask him. I'll come back.
Thank you. Ask him and get back to me. I'm a firm believer, and Brandon, I get into this argument all the time. I'm a firm believer that the year of the Dez no catch call, that was the year the Cowboys were going to the Super Bowl, and that was the year we could have won the whole thing. I am a firm believer of that. I will die on that hill. We were robbed. That was our Super Bowl year. And it is just a frustrating time for me to even go back and remember how the refs just completely took away my chance to vividly remember a Super Bowl.
Ashley, it's a frustrating time for you and Cowboys fans, but it's also a frustrating time for football fans and sports fans because we're tired of hearing that every year. This is the year the Cowboys going to get it done. This is the year they're going to get it done. We just heard Troy Aikman say the last time he was in an NFC championship was when Troy Aikman was playing.
I'm aware, Brandon.
Is
but on you hate us.
A business mogul. Like, Troy
I'm
is
the
on
dinosaur.
to different things. You are the dinosaur, Troy, kind of.